guys, it's Jen over at worldofjencraft.com, and this is our card today. So I did a couple different versions. This was my original one using the Poppy Parade as my card base. And then this one, I don't think it's crushed curry, but it's technically the color that is in the Country Club DSP. This might be Daffodil Delight, but either way, I think it goes really good with this. So this is using the super cute Little Ladybug stamp set. Now this is going to be available as a host special with the Celebration catalog coming up in January. And if you host a qualifying party, you get this for free. Now, as a demonstrator, I was able to purchase this at regular price, at full price, before it became available as a host gift. So I just absolutely love this little stamp set. Then the die, this scalloped rectangle die that I used, comes in this Stitched So Sweetly dies, and these will be available in the January through May, I think, mini catalog. So be on the lookout for that. If you are not a demo, that is what is coming up. I used Memento black ink for my stamping, and the shimmery crystal effects. You could also use like just a regular like liquid glass or whatever it's called, but I just did that on these little dots just to kind of give them a little bit more dimension. And that is it for supplies. So the card dimensions, the paper dimensions. Now, I'm running out of Poppy Parade because I did not buy a full pack. So for my card, for this particular one, for my demo, I'm using a 4 1/4 by 11 Whisper White cardstock scored at 5 1/2. And then this Poppy Parade is going to be the full 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. For this card, I did just use that as my card base, so whichever, you know, either way it works, but that's kind of what's going on with this card. My basic black cardstock is going to be 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and then I have another piece that is 3 1/8 by 4 1/4, and how I came up with that is I just took my little scalloped rectangle and just measured it out around that. Now this scalloped rectangle measures 3 by 4 1/8, so that's how I ended up getting this size here. The Country Club DSP is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. I really love this DSP. It is geared a little bit more, it's, you know, more masculine and geared more towards the golfing side. But when I saw these Argyle prints and some of the other prints in there, I knew that I could use it for something other than just a masculine card. I thought they turned out pretty dang sweet and happy on these cards. So, you know, that's kind of, I have a hard time sometimes with DSP seeing beyond, but I really thought there was a lot more potential in this. So how I'm going to do this is I decided I'm going to bring in my brother's Scan and Cut because there are no dies for this particular stamp set. As there are, you know, quite a few stamp sets, there's no dies, coordinating dies available. Now, when there is a coordinating die, I always buy that. You know, that way I'm not having to get out my machine, and I always have my Big Shot out. But for this particular set, I really wanted to have my images cut out, especially this little ladybug, so I could pop it up. So I thought what I would do, quick, hopefully, is give you just a short little rundown on how I, oops, my stamp set was stuck to my pad, on how I use my brother's Scan and Cut. I have not gotten into all of the fancy dancy little things that it does. So I'll show you what I do, and that way if maybe you've been struggling with your Scan and Cut, maybe this will give you an idea of how you can go ahead and use it, get it out of that box or dust it off and start using it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to widen my camera view, and then I'll be back with my brother's Scan and Cut. Okay, so here is my machine. Now it is all turned on and ready to go. I just have it on the home screen right now. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this screen up on here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna hit scan. And then I'm going to be doing a direct cut. I'm not saving any of my data. So I'm just gonna hit direct cut. And then I'm going to just be saving it to my machine because I don't have scan and cut canvas yet. And then let's go ahead. I want to just see quick if we do. So I'm just going to hit black and white for recognition mode because my stamped images are just stamped out in the black. All right. Do that. Okay, so let's go ahead. I hit that too soon. I'm going to go ahead and load this in now. I've already got my images stamped on my Whisper White cardstock, and this is just the regular, it's not the thick. So I'm gonna load this in. And then what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm just gonna hit the Start Stop button, and that is going to scan whatever I have on my mat. So now it's going to come up on here as to what it has scanned in. So I'm going to hit OK. You have these 2 scanned images on here. Now I was trying to see tools wise because I wanted to show you. Okay, so this is what I have mine set before we get to any of the cutting. Basically I just have everything all at factory. So my cut speed is 3. My cut pressure is at 0, which has worked for me. Draw speed, so if that's drawing instead of cutting. And that's pretty much, I just have everything as it came in. So when I opened, you know, this and brought it out of the package, I didn't make any changes. Now what I am going to do is right now, the way it's set, let's go ahead and we're going to come in on these 2 images because I'm going to want to cut both of them out. So right now, both of those will cut out directly on the line, but I want mine to cut out just a little bit outside of the line. So then you'll get just this little outline, just like you would a regular die. So I'm going to hit this little button right here, and I want my outline distance to be 0.04. And then I'm going to hit OK. And then it shows me what I've got going here. And we're going to go ahead and hit cut, but this isn't showing up like it did the last time. But let me see what goes on here. Okay, so we're going to hit cut, and maybe it'll be just fine. Yeah, I think it will. Okay, so we're going to hit cut. Oh, and then we want to hit Start Stop. Okay. And then it's just going to work its magic. Yep, so it's cutting out just perfectly fine, exactly how I wanted it to. One thing I was afraid when I was doing this was, you know, was it going to do exactly what I wanted it to do for my video? And then I'm just going to go ahead and hit, so it'll tell me yes, I'm okay with that. Because once you hit that, it doesn't save this in. So if I wanted to, I could have saved it. But yeah, so now let me go ahead and I'll grab this out of the way. I'll reduce my screen again and I'll be right back. Okay, so, and this is a brand new mat too. I do know these mats lose their stick pretty quickly. But this is a brand new one. That way I didn't have to kind of mess around with it. But there it is. There are my 2 images, all stamped and cut out just perfectly. Get this out. So there you have it. And then I'll go ahead and I'm going to grab out my markers. And I just used the Stampin' Blends for this. And for my, I should have had these out already. So this is that Cherry Cobbler, the light and the dark. And then the old olive, I'll use the light and the dark on that. And then I'm going to be using this light and dark smoky slate. And then the light and dark Daffodil Delight. So actually I think I just use, I can't remember if I used both of these for the Ladybug, but we'll just go ahead and we'll just get coloring in here. And these don't take any time at all. So what'd you guys think? I mean, really, it didn't take very long at all with that Brother Scan and Cut. And you know, I've been watching some videos. I know how to do a few things, but nothing super fancy on it, just because I just like to be able to cut out my images right now. I actually did do something kind of fun with some little shaped post-it notes that I bought. So I'll come up with a video here on how to make little covers for my little shaped notes. But yeah, super easy peasy. Do you have the Brother Scan and Cut? If you do, let me know. Let me know what you like about it, what you don't like about it. Also, let me know if you've had any issues with using it. I know some people have, or some people are just, you know, a little nervous about even pulling it out. So I think this is all I used actually for my little Ladybug. And then I'm going to go ahead and color in this back side here with the gray. And then I did color in the little feet and these little hands. And this is with the darker of the two. And then with this lighter one, along with the color lifter, I just came in here and very lightly put like a little bit of a line here. Kind of a, I guess, as a shadow. I'm not that great with making shadows. I kind of learned that with all the Copics that I purchased that I still have, and I do get out and play with them, but I don't have that sense of, you know, like where shading is supposed to go. Some people, I think that just comes naturally. And then I'm just going to go ahead and bring this under here just to kind of just lift up a little bit of that color, because we want just a faint line. And then I went ahead and I did color in the spots just a little bit with my gray. And while I have him out, I think I'm going to get this too. I'm going to put the little shimmery effects on it. And sorry for the silence for a minute, but I was looking for my light pink marker to give him cheeks, but since I cannot find it readily available, he's going to have little, I think he's just going to have kind of lighter Calypso coral cheeks. But I did use that really light pink, but we'll just use that for now. I think that looks pretty sweet. And then with the shimmery crystal effects, I believe this is in that holiday catalog. Like I said, you can use any kind of like a liquid glass or crystal effects to use. But because I had this out on my desk from another project, I decided to go ahead and just use this. This stuff I've noticed is a little bit thicker to work with. And of course it's deciding to be stubborn, which is kind of weird because it's the first time I've had an issue with it. Oh, there it goes. Alright, I'm just going to put this here. If you have watched any videos, getting back to the Brother Scan and Cut, if you've watched any videos that you have found personally helpful, let me know, because I'd like to find a good person to watch to see if I can pick up any other tips or tricks. So with this one, I just ran this lighter Daffodil Delight over the whole entire image. And I feel like my marker is kind of losing, it's not completely dry, but I don't feel like it has as much in it as it used to. Maybe it's time for a new one. I mean, it still works. So I just ran this on the whole entire flower. And then I came back with, not that, with the darker one. And I don't know, I just kind of came in and kind of added some dark in here a little bit. And like I said, I'm not great with shadowing. I know I'm probably doing this on the wrong side of the flower, because usually you get your shadow on the bottom and not the top, but this is my story and I'm sticking to it. I just kind of think it helped add a little bit of dimension to it. So don't do as I do, right? But it works for me, and as long as I'm happy with it, that's all that matters. And then I'm just going to come back over that just to kind of blend it in a little bit, and then it kind of darkens up my flower. I am definitely not an alcohol marker expert by any means. So there's that. And then I came here on my leaves, keep grabbing out the wrong end. And I'm just gonna go over the whole entire leaf with the lighter of the Old Olive. And then the darker one, I just kind of came here. Of course, this one I did fill in what I thought was like the underside-ish of the leaf. And then I'm just going to come back over it just to kind of blend it in so I didn't have that real strong difference or strong line. And then for this side, for the stem, I went ahead and just use that darker one just to come down with the stem. The under part of the flower, I used, what is this? Dark pumpkin pie. So I just colored that in. All right, so that's it for all of the coloring, and then it's just on to the assembly of the card itself, which is not all that difficult. So let me put this little guy up and above before I do something to ruin that. I'm just going to use out what is convenient to me right now, so the big gun it is, and then I'm just going to throw on my Poppy Parade. That's such a fun color to say, isn't it? This actually came from a full card that I was trying to preserve the cardstock. So there's that. Initially, I wasn't going to do a video on this card just because it's a pretty simple card, but I had posted this in the demonstrator Facebook group, and someone asked if I was going to do a video. So I said, well, yeah, I wasn't planning on it, but I would be more than happy to throw one together quick. So thank you for the request. It made me feel pretty good that you would want a video tutorial on this. So that's just that. And then we're going to put this on top of here. I feel like a lot of my cards lately have been done with rectangles, you know, with the rectangle dies that Stampin' Up! Came out with while I was absent. And now with these are so stinking adorable. My only complaint, now I try, you know, not that complaining is going to do me any good at this point, but my only complaint is the rectangle dies, the regular ones that I've been using, do not coordinate with these dies. Darn it, I kind of wish they would have coordinated, because then I could have maybe done a little bit of layering. But I did kind of figure out a way around that for another card of mine. So I'll show you once I get that video done. Let me grab, I have pop dots hanging out around here somewhere, but of course they're not in my space. Here they are. So I just went ahead and put a few little, now my stuff is not dry on this, so I'm going to try really hard not to ruin it. And then he's just going to get popped up. Now you don't necessarily, you know, you wouldn't have to cut this out, but I kind of still like a little bit of the dimension that it gives as a cut out item versus just stamped on there. I'm going to go ahead and just put him, or her, whatever you want to call it, right there. And let's go ahead and get the thank you stamped out. And for that, I'm just using my Memento ink that I used for the rest of the stamping on my card. Make sure that that is up. And there it is. And then I'll just pop this up with a few more of these on the back of it. So Christmas is just around the corner. Hopefully you guys have that all worked out. And for those of you who observe and celebrate Christmas, it's always kind of a fun time of year. I know I enjoy seeing everybody's Christmas trees going up and their Christmas cards, and you know, posts about family, and it's just kind of it's a fun time of the year. So I hope you guys are all enjoying it and are as ready as you are going to be. Takes twice as long to put these on as it does, or take them off, as it does to put them on. Okay. And then this is just going to go centered. Let me get stood up here. Hopefully I didn't get in the centered as best as possible. And there it is. That is the card. So I just love it. I think it's such a happy little card. And one that I plan on sending out to my future insurance clients. I'm getting closer and closer to being able to go out and start selling and start my new career. So yay. But yeah, I think that that would be fun to send out to someone and hopefully make their day by getting a handmade card. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. worldofjencraft.com for the dimensions for these cards. Cerizo.stampinup.net. If you're interested in purchasing any of these products, they will be available in January. Otherwise, if I don't have another video between now and next week, which is Christmas, I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday season. And yeah, I will talk to you hopefully before then, but if not, I'll talk to you later. Bye.